Your breakfast plate looks innocent, a bowl of cereal, some toast, a cup of yogurt. But what if I told you that it could be a crime scene and that there are hidden criminals on that plate that are silently clogging your arteries? Today, we are not just giving you a list of foods. We are launching a full detective investigation to unmask the 3 hidden criminals on your morning plate. Welcome back to Healthier Daily, the channel where we give you the simple science-backed truths to live a stronger and more independent life after 60. I'm your host, Dr. Ben Carter. And to be our lead detective in this very important investigation, we are joined by a physician who has spent his life teaching the wisdom of looking deeper to find the true cause of our health problems. It is our great honor to welcome Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you for having me, Ben. The metaphor of an investigation is a very wise one, and our investigation today begins with a case file. It is the story of a patient of mine. We will call him David. David came to me, and he was very confused. His energy was very low, his blood pressure was starting to rise, and his doctor had told him that his arteries were showing the early signs of plaque buildup. But he swore to me that he was eating a very healthy breakfast every single day. I told him that we must become detectives and we must investigate his plate.
That is a powerful and a very relatable story, and that is exactly what our guide is all about today. In this detailed investigation, Detective Hinohara is going to walk us through the case. We are going to identify the 3 main criminals that were hiding on David's plate. We will identify criminal number 1, the sugar bandit. We will then unmask criminal number 2, the fat phantom. And finally, we will expose criminal number 3, the salty saboteur. And for each one, we will reveal where they hide and how you can catch them. It is a true blessing to have the kind of wisdom that allows us to see the truth so we can make the right choices for the beautiful bodies we've been given. If you are ready to become a breakfast detective and to protect your heart from these hidden criminals, please type the number 1 in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to our channel. It's completely free, and this is an investigation that could change your health. Okay, Detective Hinohara, our investigation into the breakfast crime scene begins now. Let's look at the evidence on our patient David's plate. Who is the first and the most common criminal that you identified that was silently clogging his arteries?
Yes, our first criminal is a true master of disguise. It promises you quick energy, but it quietly steals your long-term health. I call this criminal the sugar bandit. And on David's plate, this bandit was hiding everywhere. He was eating a very popular whole grain breakfast cereal that was actually covered in hidden sugar. He was also having a flavored yogurt cup that he believed was a healthy choice. And sometimes on the weekends, he would have a store-bought muffin or a simple piece of white toast with some jam. All of these common foods are the favorite hiding places of the sugar bandit.
And this bandit has a very specific and a very destructive modus operandi, or a method of attack on our arteries. Let's explain the deep science of how it does its damage, because it is so important for our viewers to understand this. When you eat these foods that are full of refined sugar and refined flour, they are digested by your body almost instantly. This causes a massive and a very rapid spike in your blood sugar levels. Your body sees this as an emergency and it panics. It responds by releasing a flood of inflammatory messengers that are called cytokines. For our investigation, you can think of these cytokines as being like the alarm bells of your immune system. They begin to race through your arteries, causing inflammation and direct damage to the delicate inner lining. But the attack does not even stop there. This excess sugar that is now in your blood then begins to stick to the important proteins in your body, like the precious collagen that makes up your artery walls. This sticky process creates very toxic and very damaging new molecules that we call advanced glycation end products or AGEs. It is these ages that are responsible for making your arteries become stiff, brittle, and clogged over time. So the sugar bandit is attacking your arteries with both immediate inflammation from the cytokines and with long-term structural damage from the ages.
So it is a two-pronged attack on our arteries. So, Detective, how do we catch this dangerous criminal? What is the solution?
To catch this criminal, you must remove all of their favorite hiding places, and you must replace them with honest and beautiful whole foods. The first solution is to swap the sugary breakfast cereal for a simple and a very comforting bowl of steel-cut oats. And instead of adding sugar, you can add some beautiful fresh berries for a gentle and a very natural sweetness. We are in the early autumn now, so the last of the season's berries are still wonderful. The second solution is to swap the flavored yogurt cup for a simple bowl of plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. You can then add your own fresh fruit to it. In this way, you are in control. You are the detective and you are no longer the victim. It is a beautiful and a blessed feeling to be able to take back that control, to be able to choose the simple and the honest foods that nature has provided for us, instead of the deceptive ones that come from a box. So our first criminal, the sugar bandit, is a major culprit that hides in so many of our favorite breakfast foods, causing both immediate inflammation and long-term damage to our arteries. By swapping to whole oats and plain yogurt, we can successfully arrest him. Now, Detective Hinohara, who is the second hidden criminal that was hiding on our patient David's breakfast plate,
Our second criminal is even more deceptive than the first. It is a true phantom. It often pretends to be a friend to our heart, but in reality, it is a silent assassin for our arteries. I call this dangerous criminal, the fat phantom. And this phantom was hiding in two different places on David's breakfast table. First, he was spreading a thick layer of a so-called heart-healthy margarine on his white toast every single morning. And second, the store-bought muffins that he would sometimes eat as a treat were made with a large amount of vegetable shortening, which is another form of this dangerous and unnatural fat.
and phantom is the perfect name because these fats are specifically designed by the food companies to deceive us. Let's look at the science of how this dangerous phantom operates. The primary weapon of this phantom is the trans fat, which is created through that unnatural industrial process of hydrogenation. As we have discussed in great detail in our video on the great oil deception, these unnatural man-made fats are a double whammy for our arteries. They dramatically raise our bad oxidized LDL cholesterol, and at the very same time, they actually lower our good protective HDL cholesterol. They are a direct poison to our entire cardiovascular system. And even if the muffin that David was eating was made with other oils, they are almost always the cheap and highly refined industrial seed oils like soybean or corn oil. And these oils are extremely high in the pro-inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids, which is another powerful way that this phantom fuels the silent fire of inflammation that is burning in our arteries.
So, it is another two-pronged attack on our health. The trans fats are a direct poison, and the other processed oils are a source of chronic simmering inflammation. So, Detective, how do we capture this dangerous phantom and remove it from our breakfast?
To capture the fat phantom, you must replace its deceptive hiding places with real, honest, and beautiful fats that come directly from nature. The first and most simple solution is to swap the tub of margarine for the beautiful, creamy, and natural fat of a mashed avocado. Or you can use a high-quality and pure nut butter like an almond butter or a peanut butter that contains only the nuts and perhaps a little bit of salt. These are wonderful whole foods that bring healing and nourishment to your body, not harm. The avocado is absolutely packed with those stable and powerfully anti-inflammatory monounsaturated fats, and it is also full of healthy fiber and potassium. And the nut butters provide their own healthy fats and a good dose of protein. These are real whole foods that your body knows how to recognize and how to use to be able to build a healthy and a very strong cardiovascular system. It is a beautiful and a blessed thing when we learn to trust the simple and the honest foods that come directly from the earth instead of the deceptive ones that are created in a factory. This is such a complete nutritional philosophy, Doctor. We love sharing it with our global community. To help us see our global community, please let us know what city, state, or country you are watching from. We love hearing from all of you. So we have now successfully unmasked and arrested the Sugar Bandit and the Fat Phantom. These are two very dangerous criminals that were hiding in our patient David's breakfast. Detective Hinohara, who is the third and final hidden criminal that was lurking on his plate.
Our final criminal is one that works by creating a great deal of pressure and chaos in the body. I call this dangerous criminal the salty saboteur. And this saboteur was hiding in David's favorite weekend breakfast. He absolutely loved to have processed breakfast meats like bacon or sausage with his eggs on Saturday and Sunday mornings.
And these foods are so popular in America, but they are so incredibly damaging to our arteries. Let's look at the modus operandi of this salty saboteur. It also attacks our cardiovascular system in two different ways. First, as its name suggests, these processed meats are incredibly high in sodium. As we know, a high-sodium diet causes your body to retain excess water. This directly increases your blood volume and therefore your blood pressure. This constant high pressure puts a great deal of mechanical stress on the delicate inner lining of your arteries, and this makes them much more prone to damage and to the dangerous buildup of plaque. And second, to be able to preserve them, these meats are loaded with chemicals like nitrates and nitrites. And these preservatives have been shown in many scientific studies to be powerful triggers for inflammation throughout the entire body, which of course further damages those delicate artery walls.
So it is another dangerous two-pronged attack, the high pressure from the salt and the chemical inflammation from the preservatives. So, Detective, what is the final solution? How can our viewers get that delicious, savory flavor in the morning without all of this damage?
The simple and the healing swap is to, of course, replace the processed meats with clean and beautiful whole food proteins. The best choice of all is to have simple pasture-raised eggs that are cooked with a variety of delicious vegetables like mushrooms, spinach, and onions. Or for a special and a very delicious weekend treat, a small portion of a high-quality wild-caught smoked salmon is a wonderful choice, and it provides those beautiful and powerfully anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats at the same time. Now, Detective Hinohara, you have successfully unmasked all three of the hidden criminals that were on David's breakfast plate. We have found the Sugar Bandit, the Fat Phantom, and the Salty Saboteur. What happened when your patient, our case study, made all three of these simple and intelligent swaps in his daily life?
This is the beautiful conclusion to our investigation. The case was solved. David began to follow this new and very simple breakfast protocol. He swapped his sugary cereal for the beautiful oatmeal with berries. He swapped his margarine for the creamy avocado. And on the weekends, he swapped his inflammatory sausage for the beautiful scrambled eggs with spinach. After just 3 months of following this new protocol, he came back to my office. He told me that his energy was better than it had been in over 10 years. That terrible afternoon crash that he used to feel was completely gone. And when we did his blood tests, his inflammatory markers had dropped significantly, and his own doctor was amazed at the wonderful improvement in his blood pressure. He did not need a new medication. He just needed to solve the case of his own breakfast.
That is a truly beautiful and a blessed story. It is a powerful reminder that when we bring a little bit of wisdom and a discerning eye to our daily plate, our bodies have an incredible God-given ability to be able to heal themselves. Doctor, this has been an incredible and a very eye-opening investigation. You have pulled back the curtain and you have unmasked the three hidden criminals that are lurking in our breakfast. Your breakfast detective protocol gives our viewers a clear and a very powerful way to be able to protect their precious arteries. By identifying and arresting the sugar bandit, the fat phantom, and the salty saboteur, we can take back control of the first and most important meal of the day. This is a revolutionary way to think about our senior health. By making these simple swaps, our viewers can begin to reduce the chronic inflammation and the dangerous plaque buildup that can clog their arteries. This powerful knowledge is a true cornerstone of a proactive senior health strategy. It is a practical food-first way to invest in your long-term heart health and to fight back against the silent process that damages our arteries. Now, doctor, this has been an amazing investigation. To make it incredibly practical and easy for our viewers to start their new life as a breakfast detective, can you now provide them with a sample weekly blueprint of what these healthy and delicious swaps look like in real life?
Of course. The goal of this is not restriction. It is about beautiful and delicious nourishment. Here is a simple sample blueprint for a heart-healthy week of breakfasts. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can build your breakfast around our first healing swap, the one that provides beautiful, slow-release energy. On these days, you can have a warm and a very comforting bowl of steel-cut oats. One day, you can top it with a handful of beautiful fresh berries for their antioxidants. On another day, you can add a spoonful of a delicious nut butter and a sprinkle of cinnamon for its blood sugar balancing benefits. On Tuesday and Thursday, you can focus on a clean and a very powerful protein-rich breakfast. This is when you can have your beautiful scrambled pasture-raised eggs. And you must be sure to cook them with a large handful of vegetables like spinach and mushrooms, and you can serve them with a beautiful slice of creamy avocado on the side. For Saturday, you can have a very special and savory treat. You can have a slice of a high-quality whole-grain toast with a small portion of a wild-caught smoked salmon and perhaps a little bit of cream cheese. This provides those wonderful anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats. And on Sunday, I encourage you to be creative. You can make a beautiful plain Greek yogurt bowl, and you can top it with your favorite nut seeds and low-sugar fruits. The key to this is the beautiful variety and the consistent daily nourishment.
That is a perfect and a very delicious weekly blueprint. Now, beyond just the health of our arteries, what are some of the other wonderful ripple effects that our viewers might experience throughout their entire day when they make these beautiful breakfast swaps?
The benefits will ripple out into every corner of your life. First, you will experience stable all-day energy. When you do not begin your day with a large sugar spike, you will not have that terrible and frustrating energy crash in the middle of the afternoon. A clean and balanced breakfast provides your body and your brain with a very steady and a very reliable source of energy for your entire day. Second, you will notice reduced cravings. The high amount of protein, fiber, and healthy fats that are in these beautiful breakfasts will keep you feeling full and satisfied for many, many hours. And this will dramatically reduce the cravings that you might feel for those unhealthy, sugary snacks later in the day. Third, you will experience a calmer and a clearer mind. Your brain is very, very sensitive to the wild swings of your blood sugar. By starting your day with a stable and a very nourishing meal, you are also creating a calm and a very clear mind for yourself. For many people, the brain fog that they feel in the morning can finally begin to lift.
It is a profound and a very holistic way to start the day.
I want to leave you with this one final thought. You must become the detective of your own plate. You must question every ingredient. You must look for the hidden culprits. When you bring a sense of awareness to your breakfast, you bring a lifetime of healing to your heart.
That is a beautiful message, Doctor. To become the detective of our own plate. It's a wonderful reminder to be good stewards of our health by bringing blessed wisdom and a discerning eye to the very first and most important meal of our day. And of course, it is absolutely essential that you speak with your personal doctor or a registered dietitian before making any significant changes to your diet, especially if you have any existing health conditions. Please remember that our conversation today is for educational purposes. If you found this guide empowering and it changed the way that you look at your breakfast, please give this video a like so that others can find this vital information, and be sure to share it with a friend or a family member. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. It is completely free and it ensures you will not miss our next practical health guide. And for our community discussion today, we would love to know, which hidden criminal are you going to arrest from your breakfast plate this week? The sugar bandit, the fat phantom, or the salty saboteur? Please share your first step in the comments below. Thank you for being with us. Be well.